Oh yeah. So like some books have like the artist description. Like the artist description of that book, you can just tell he's just the most annoying breed of fucking Republican. Like he was like whoa, because the book's all about like demons and how each individual person has like their own demons. So it's a really interesting concept. But like the forward, the guy's like, you know, the kids these days are just so focused on the TV and the demons are taking over their brains. I was like, oh, okay, never mind. I don't want to read this. The first one was really good. Like, there's this one whole chapter in the first one, bro. There was actually one of the most like interesting.
Yeah, you told me about this. Like he was in his room or something, and he like talked to the demon, right?
He was talking to the demon, but at the same time, well, no. He was in his room talking to this demon that was in the form of like a prostitute, and the demon was trying to like seduce him.
It was a succubus?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And then it's going back and forth between him and his wife. So he's trying not to cheat on his wife, but his wife is at the store, and there's this like guy that's trying to get in her car, like to like rape her. But you're seeing four sides. You're seeing the physical side of the prostitute and the husband, and you're seeing the physical side of the creep and the wife, but you're also seeing like the demon of the prostitute and the demon of the
guy that's trying to rape her.
Creep guy. Yeah. So it was one of the most interesting like 10 pages because again, like I don't really read, but like
my thing is like it does sound pretty interesting, but like how did you find that? Like where did you
I think my dad recommended it to me actually.
I remember that book was huge, and like he brought it on the bus one day. I was like, dude, why is this what you're reading?
Yeah. Yeah, looking back, I could have saved myself so much time if I just read,
would have,
like,
but I thought you were just trying to like be a little suck up. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I'm not gonna. Yeah.
No, it's just middle school me was a different breed, bro. And honestly, I have not read a book on my own time since 8th grade.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
Like we read. Did you read Night in your English class by Elie Wiesel?
No.
That was a good book. It was all about like this guy and his experience with the Holocaust. So like all true stories, but
yeah,
it was good. But we read it as a class. But that was a good book. But that, like,
I remember we read
talking on books, like that was the last book I read.
We read the Diary of Anne Frank in 8th grade. That was pretty interesting.
Oh my gosh, we did.
It wasn't as good as it could have been because we did that at home. I remember.
Yeah. Because I would just skim through it.
Yeah, I didn't really take it that serious. Like,
and then we had to make those like videos, like talking about it. Yeah. That was such a weird time.
It was so weird. Yeah. Like we've never done that before. We never done it since. Like that was just so strange. Like 8th grade, the end of 8th grade.
I was looking through like I think I was doing this like with you at school. Like I was looking through my camera roll of 2020, like quarantine, like early 2020.
Yeah. We did this a little bit in St. John's.
This guy, try not to get T-boned. He's scaring me. He's just ominously.
Yeah.
But what was it? Oh yeah, we were going through my old camera roll, and it was just weird to see because I had all those I had the pictures that I would scan. Remember we had to scan our notebook. We couldn't submit a picture. We had to scan it in the Notes app.
Yeah, we had to download it.
And we had to email it to ourselves and then submit it.
We couldn't just take a photo. Yeah,
I know.
It's never that easy. Yeah. Dude, I remember that, bro.
And then we would have to make those videos. I found my video for my ASL final, and we had to do a house tour video, but obviously all in sign language.
I remember we had to take a video for the poem.
Which poem? Oh, yeah. We had to memorize the poem.
We had to memorize the poem.
Yeah, that was probably the video I found because I didn't watch it because listening. There's nothing worse than listening to your 8th grade self talking. There's nothing worse, or just middle school self in general. Because I've been thinking about recently, I know this is a thing that everyone thinks about, but it's just been on my mind lately of what if I could just go back to the beginning of 8th grade and go up until now with all the knowledge that I have right now.
Dude, I think about that all the time.
Yeah, how cool of a person could I be?
That's such an interesting way to think about it.
Because and I know we're recording right now, so I won't say too many, but, you know, Ian, like, he just, from what he puts on Instagram, he lives the most, like, interesting life, and, like, you know, crazy amount of, like, parties, and just being in weird places. Like, he'll just be on college campuses and stuff, and I was just thinking about how, like, he was so ahead of the curve on all of us. Like,
yeah,
he's the one that, like, he was the first time I heard about Kendrick Lamar. And that's kind of what got me into music. But, like, he was into music from, like, 6th grade. He was into fashion since then. And not like fashion, but, like, remember his shoes? His shoe game was always good.
Yeah.
He had those Kendrick Lamar shoes that he wasn't allowed to wear because I said damn on them. Like, he was always just so ahead of us. And he was always wearing Supreme and stuff. So it's like, what if I could go back now, and just get, like...
2 outfits.
Yeah.
And take it with you.
That'd actually be dope. Like, because... back then, Rick Owens weren't as popular, and I'm not about to be like a, what's a good Rick analogy? The Rick representative.
Rick Owens.
I'm not gonna be the Rick Owens.
Rick Owens officer.
Yeah, but they were a lot cheaper back then because like, they weren't so they weren't open. Like, I could follow Destroy Lonely on Instagram when he had like 50 followers, but yeah, dude, weird. I wish I could just go back and just be on some, like, futuristic stuff. And I remember, like, he's so interesting. But no, I was, like, listening to Juice WRLD and XXXTentacion.
I love, like, the idea of, like, time travel.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Time travel is sick, dude.
Because, like... I wonder if it's small.
Is that your mom?
I don't know. I don't think so.
No,
She's not turning into our driveway, so I don't think it's my mom. My mom said, sure, tell him sorry for the mess. Let's go. This clothing brand that this guy that I, like, kind of know started, I posted a picture of his outfit. Yeah. It's fire with 3 flame emojis. Yeah. Let's go. What was I saying?
Time travel,
bro. Like, if I could just go back and, like... And I don't even... Because, you know, I don't want to redo freshman year. But if I could do freshman year with, like... And I haven't even finished high school. So, but, like, if I could do freshman year with my knowledge now, I would have landed Sierra for sure. Like, because I've been thinking about it. Because the way I am with women now, like, I can, like, talk to women now. I could not for shit freshman year. But, like, I was thinking, like, if I met her now, I could definitely get with her. For the 2 viewers... That was a girl that, like, bro, I was crazy for freshman year, and then she got with my friend Sai. But, and then I was crazy for her again sophomore year, and then she, like, wanted to kill herself. Low key. But yeah. I like the lights on. So yeah, I could go back in time and just redo freshman year as the sophisticated person I am now. You know, imagine if I could have started high school with a good fashion sense.
The thing is, though, like, I don't know, because, like, if you're a freshman and you dress like this, I think people would just make fun of you.
That's true, actually. They'd be like, what are you
I'm not trying to say anything
about No, because when you're an upperclassman...
You're a freshman, you're like, dude, you're trying way too hard.
I see some... nothing hurts me more. And it's... I understand, like, you know, some people can't afford to buy, you know, clothes they like. That's okay. But when I see people that are clearly trying and that are clearly spending money on their clothing and it's just ass, it makes me so sad. Like, there's this one kid, because I'm in this Spanish class and it's all freshmen because it's Spanish 1 and I was stupid and didn't take a freshman year. And it's all freshmen. And there's this one kid that he tries, but he never learned. Because I'm sure you do this too, but and anyone who's viewing could probably, like, relate. If you're not, like, fat, but not skinny, to the point where you have, like, kind of some flabs, like, you learn the, like, suck in trick, where, like, you can't see it under the shirt. Like, I've literally been sucking in for so long that, like, it's just how I stand now. It's just the muscles have just contracted in that way. And he hasn't learned that. And he has the body type that he could get into fashion if he just he's tall, he's skinny, skinny-ish, and he just wears the most atrocious. He has this one Devil Rays shirt that I know he feels so vintage in.
Is it
but
a
you
blonde
can
kid?
tell what?
Is it a blonde kid?
I don't know if he's blonde. He's kind of dirty blonde, but he's tall.
Oh, I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
But he has this one Devil Rays shirt that I know he puts that on. He's like, yo, I'm like the vintage vice president or whatever.
Rays connoisseur.
Yeah, like I know he thinks he's so cool in that vintage Devil Rays shirt, but you can tell it is the clearest like thing he bought at like the Rays merch store. Whatever. I'm not gonna judge because I don't want to be judged at school, and I'm not gonna judge other people, especially freshmen, because
we know how we dress as freshmen.
I wore a pair of jeans and a hoodie, and I had the same like 4 hoodies on rotation.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna judge a freshman, but there was not one day in freshman year where I came to school and I was like, I'm like dripped out right now. I would put on my Adidas hoodie or my Puma hoodie and be like, it's nice. Yeah. But I had some like TJ Maxx ass fashion back then. And then sophomore year, I don't know if you remember the switch I made when I started wearing jeans and sweaters a bunch. I felt like an e-boy in my sweaters.
Yeah, I do remember that.
And then I'm sure you know I'm not fully evolved yet, obviously, but I definitely dress better than, like, to any high schooler listening, especially because I know I'm still not finished with high school, so it probably sounds silly if you're older, but like to any like underclassmen, freshmen, I forgot what I was gonna say. Sorry, guys.
Man,
I forgot. I built that up. I was like, I'm gonna give some good.
I thought you were gonna
advice,
have some nice ass advice right
and
now.
it just totally slipped my mind. Like, talk for a second so they're entertained, but like,
yeah.
let me figure it out.
He's thinking. Did it come to you yet? Oh, let us know in the comments what game is being played right now. I just thought about that.
That's such a good piece of advice.
I have to record. I have to record like 20 minutes of a game, and I don't know what game. So let me know in the comments what game. Let me know what game is going on. Did it come back yet?
I think it's gone, bro.
It's gone, yeah.
I'm so sorry, bro. I really just built that up.
Nope. No advice for you, freshman.
I had such a good piece of advice. It's going to come to me the second Somar leaves, dude. The second
I'm gonna
I'm like, oh, I got it. Bro.
Send me like a voice message.
Yeah, I got you. We'll edit it in.
I'll input it in.
I'm so upset, bro. I think it had something to do with fashion.
It did. If you're a freshman, if you're a lower classman, it sounded weird coming from a person who hasn't finished yet.
Okay, so I was talking about my sweaters.
Your jeans. He built it up for too long. He forgot.
I was saying the whole, if you're an underclassman, I was like, shit, it's going away. Dude. I can't believe I just did that, bro. I'm sorry.
No advice for you guys. Continue to dress poorly.
Maybe if I start again, it'll come back as I'm saying.
Okay, here we go. Start again from the top.
Okay. So if you're like if you're an incoming freshman or you're like an underclassman, like the best piece of advice that I could give you.
It's gone.
Shit.
It's completely gone.
I'll just make up new advice. Don't fall for a weird person. Don't fall for a weird girl. Because she will end up dating the most like stoner ass. I hope he's not hearing this, but I heard a rumor that he is heavily into panty sniffing. Which go him, but like, bro, him and Zoe are still together.
I know. I was a little surprised by that.
And Sierra's with a guy that I'm like, really, like, I lost to that. That just shows you how, like, because now, bro, maybe I'm just too confident, but I know I could do it. But it took, because she like genuinely changed so much about my like personality.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because I was all of a sudden like the things I would post on Instagram. Like, I started... just think of a person you follow on Instagram that, like, when you see a new post in your feed from them, you're kind of like... Ew, like, quirky pictures and, like...
I feel that,
like,
dude.
Memes. Like, I can go in my archive right now. I know y'all can't see this, but, like, Somar could probably help, set the visual of it, like, describe it a bit better. Because there was an era where, like, the end of my posts would be like memes. And if you do that, you know, whatever. But this post specifically, I was thinking about like.
Oh my god, the mask.
And then like the Squidward meme and that.
That yeah, I remember that. Oh god.
It's one of those like blue face emojis.
Mm-hmm. The editor will put it on screen real quick.
Yeah, you got that. Look at this one. That's when we went to the Super Bowl event.
Experience.
Yeah. Oh, here's this one too. I thought I was so cool in this one. Look, wow. There's
I love that emoji.
That shit was funny.
Yeah, I love that
one. But yeah, I mean, that was an era. This was on my page for a while, just literally because of my picture with Abby. Because, bro, I'm about to get into Abby. Should I tell the Abby story?
We're 15 minutes in. We can make this another half hour.
Alright, bro. Because I'm always down to talk about Abby. Like,
you probably shouldn't be dropping names on the Dumb Frickers
Who cares? Like, she's not gonna see it. Like, it'll just be in her recommended. Like, what is this? It's like, is that Aiden's voice?
Yeah, what are we gonna even title this? Like,
oh, I don't know, bro. No, title it like the best piece of advice for incoming freshmen. Like, build the whole video.
The thumbnail.
Yeah.
Oh man, we'll make the thumbnail inside.
Yeah.
The best. All right, yeah, that's a good title.
I'm edit this part out. Whenever I say edit this part out, I know damn well
I'm not editing it out. I'm not editing it. Whatever you say is being kept in the fucking video. I'm not editing it out.
We have so many. Like, if you haven't seen any of our older stuff, like, go watch our the last couple videos where we started doing these like talks, and just like there's so many parts where we're like, we'll edit this part out. Somar is not editing that out.
I'm not taking it out. It's staying in.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck. I don't care.
Whatever. Now I've lost. Oh yeah, we were talking about Abby, bro. So Abby, like, since 2018, I was like head over heels for this chick, and it was all this like summer camp thing, because we used to go to the summer camp and now we like work there. So 2018, we were both like 11 years old, so we liked each other, but it was super awkward. And then 2019, she had a boyfriend. Then 2020, I had a girlfriend. So then 2021, after all these years, we had 3 weeks to build up to do everything. And it worked out, but then I didn't realize how many feelings I had for her. And then we had to fucking leave, and then she got a fucking boyfriend. So that's kind of fucking the story there. But I kept that post up, because that post, like, it's basically a bunch of people on a boat, and me and Abby are sitting next to each other, and I have like my arm around her. And she told me back when we were together, she was like, don't ever take this post down. I was like, I won't. And now she's got like fucking boyfriend. So I took it down. And taking that post down, because I went through one of those, like, I know people talk about this a lot, but I definitely had it, where I went through one of those things where it was like taking everything off my social media, like deleting all my posts, deleting all my story highlights, just like wanting to, I don't know. And then eventually things go back up, but I took that post down. Now I just have one post on there, which is the fit pics
from yesterday.
From yesterday. Kind of hard, I think. But yeah, that's where that was going. So I know we really built up the Abby story. I got head, basically. Oh, okay, I'll tell this story. So I got head, right? And since then, since summer of 2021, I've not got that far sexually with any girl. And it has been supposed to happen on what, 3 separate occasions now?
2 or 3. Yeah.
2 or 3, and it just hasn't worked out. But this was last time I was actually got that far with a girl, and that was a while ago. Like, up until this past January, like, I hadn't kissed a girl since summer 2021. So like, that's the break that we're talking. We're talking like a year and a half with absolutely, like, completely single, not talking to any women. And that does a lot to a man, and it really reflected on my social media. But anyway, so I got head, and she beforehand, because I love blowjobs. Like, even before I can't believe we're posting this on YouTube, bro. I really hope no one finds this. Like, watch this video just go completely viral. Like, the news is talking about it. They're like, who are these people? Can anyone identify these voices? And they just play. So I got a freaking blowjob. That won't happen though. But anyway, and she beforehand she was kind of messing with me, like dirty talking type stuff, and she was like, it's not real if you don't swallow. And I was like, bet, like that's the best thing I've ever heard. And then, you know, we do it, best like 5 minutes of my life. She swallows whatever, and then I left camp that summer because we were working at this camp. I was done with my like session, but she was still there for another week, and I didn't know about any of this until a year later, but she started getting like super sick and no one knew what was going on. And so she went to the emergency room, and they were like, it's probably just the flu. So they gave her like quote unquote flu medicine, and they just sent her back. And then that wasn't working, so they go back and they're like, well, it could be an allergic reaction. Can you list everything you remember eating in the past 5 days? And so she goes, you know, okay, well, on Saturday I had burger, blah blah blah. And they test for everything. They're like, no, it's not any of that. You sure there isn't anything else that you don't normally eat that you've eaten in the past week? And she was like, well, gave a guy a blowjob and swallowed, and they tested, and they were like, it's that. So she found out that day that she has a rare condition called seminal plasma hypersensitivity, which is the allergic reaction to the oral ingestion of seminal fluids. And I helped her discover that about herself.
You did her a favor.
I did her a favor, really. And it consoles me really well, because I know that I'm the only guy that she's ever given head to. Because if she doesn't, she's gonna get sick as shit. It's like, so that's the story there, man. That's my best sexual story for sure. I have, because I don't have like a bunch of sexual experiences, but the only ones I do have are funny. like they happen in the weirdest places.
Now all these people know.
Yeah, all 5 people that are gonna see this. But whatever, bro.
Hi, David.
Hey, David. Yeah, now David probably knew that story. I'm sure David's heard.
David's birthday is coming up.
I hope I'm invited, bro.
Yeah, we don't know yet if he's invited.
He hasn't texted any of us yet, unless he texted y'all, and y'all haven't told me.
He hasn't said anything. I think it's not next weekend, but the following weekend.
Okay.
Oh, you know what he did mention?
What?
He said his mom, because I was at his house a few days ago playing Zelda. We did talk about it briefly. His mom said it would be a good idea, or she just had the idea of like inviting some people from Calvary. So we may have
it's day. David's birthday.
Yeah, which is totally fine. Yeah. David, I have zero problem with you.
Yeah, exactly.
But we may have a day and a half spent with Brendan Martin. And some other kid, which I'm not familiar with, but it's a Calvary kid.
Hey, bro. I haven't seen him since 8th grade. Fuck
yeah, I mean, but what if he's cool?
Yeah, maybe. We're going to hear a lot of words.
Words will be said.
We're going to hear some fucking words.
Words will be.
We're going to have some conversations.
If Sean is there.
We're going to have some conversations. We're going to exchange dialogues. We're definitely going to do some talking.
There will be some speaking in there.
Yeah.
Somewhere, there will be some
There's probably be
mild interaction.
A lot of speaking is going to happen.
Yeah.
That guy. Look, bro, I love him. I never had anything against him, but now that I've not talked to him in 3 years, really the only thing I remember is just how if you started a conversation with him, that conversation was not ending until you forcibly ended it.
You could not end the conversation. I remember that.
And because we used to have to walk like across our campus to eat lunch because our school was set up super weird in middle school. But if he found you on that walk and started,
someone bought the kindergarten building.
Oh, I heard it because it was like because
it's like a fishing company.
Really?
Yeah. So that was like anyway.
That sucks, man.
I know, that's crazy, dude. We were the last people in there.
Yeah, for the science thing.
The science project. Anyway,
ooh, you want to tell?
Yeah, we can talk about that. We're at 24 minutes. We can get this to 40. Get this to 40,
tell
guy.
The fucking Isabella.
No. I cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, what was I saying?
Talking about going to lunch.
Oh, yeah, but if he found you on that walk to lunch, like, you were talking to him that whole walk to lunch, and it was going to be about, like, Percy Jackson or golf or something. Because, look, me and him were both into Percy Jackson in, like, 4th or 5th grade, and I stopped reading after I finished, like, the initial 7 books, but...
There's more than 7?
Well, because there's, like, different series. So there's, the Gods of Olympus or something like that. Like, I just liked the original. And he read all of them. Every sub-series, everything by that author, he read it all. And because... It's not like we had a falling out, but it's like we didn't talk as much.
You left the table and everything, so...
Yeah, exactly. So, like, you know, we weren't talking much between, like, 6th grade and 8th grade. So, once we started... You know, once we were talking to him again, like, in 8th grade, like, all we really had to talk about was Percy Jackson. Because that's all we were talking about in, like, 5th grade. So...
I have an idea.
What's up?
Are you done?
No, yeah,
Alright. What I'm gonna do is this right here is where this video is gonna cut off and the next video is gonna start.
Okay.
So I'll cut it off right here,